Hey, Shalom, Misha. I want to start off as always by giving no praise to Yahweh, Shem Shai, Shem Dash, the belongers to the apostles of GMS, and honesty brothers doing the work in truth while sincerity. It's a quick one. This is inspired by this article I came across, reading another image, and I found this article. But basically, it was on how you're starting to have wildlife growing from the ashes of this Australian fire, right? This amazing fire. I was trying to think of another word to describe it, right? It says comments pictures show Australian bush coming back to life after devastating wildfires. You see a picture there, right? And you see, for instance, there things were growing, and made me think about the scriptures how after the destruction, right, the earth is going to rejuvenate, right? The earth is going to get back into its glory. One, because Esau, the so-called white man, is going to be taken out of power, and he's a cancer to the earth, right? Which is why the earth is defiled in such the way that it is, right? But yeah, you can see it there, and if you do a quick Google, you can look and see more stuff, for yourself. You see a picture there, you know, life basically coming back, right? After after a fire. Why? Because the Lord has designed everything in its perfection, right? Forest fires are natural, right? Forest fires are natural, and they're there for a good reason, right? I don't know how much of this I'll read. I'll just try to read it as quick as possible. Hopefully the points made quickly. Right, so this is from learn.eartheasy.com. This is science and technology, the ecological benefits of forest fires. Right. So it's hard to imagine anything more dramatic and terrifying than a forest fire blazing its way through everything in its path. It seems like the ultimate picture of destruction. While there is no doubt that these fires can threaten lives and property and break down years and often decades of lush growth, all is not lost. There can be hidden benefits that come with forest fires. In many instances, forest fires are natural occurrences that play a vital role of renewal in this cycle of forest life. Right, the big picture, even a large and severe fire does not usually wipe out an entire forest. Now look at the way the Lord does it, right? It says temperature and conditions vary within a fire, which cause it to burn in patchwork pattern. Right, fire quote refuges end quote are often scattered throughout a forest. Right, these are naturally occurring moist areas that are protected from a burn, and are capable of supplying a seed source, right, to help repopulate the surrounding areas, burn areas after a fire. Well, as the Lord has it, whereby when these fires happen, right, you basically have bits that don't get burned, and then the bits that do get burned, and they're basically got that lush soil. The soil is fertile, right? Then the bits that didn't get burned, the seeds from over there go into the bits that got burned and are now more fertile, right? And then that helps. Now you got that life coming back again, right? It says fires also open the forest canopies to allow sunlight to reach the forest floor, benefiting the many plants that are shade intolerant and cannot compete with more shade tolerant plants. The sequoias, also known as giant redwoods, for example, utilize the pattern of periodic opening of the forest canopy to enable saplings to become established by having access to newly available sunlight. Fires are a great way of clearing out the clutter. They can break down, it's the point, they can break down nutrients and minerals in burning plants and other debris such as old logs, leaves, and dense undergrowth and restore them to the soil, thus making for a more fertile area. The increase in available nutrients in the soil after the fire helps create the perfect condition to boost microbial life in the forest floor, right? Fire often clears out any invasive weeds, insects, and diseases that may have been affecting a particular forest site, providing a chance for the area to have a fresh start with native species, right? So basically, it's just a cycle, right? Things get burnt up. You get the nutrients get pushed into the soil again. The soil becomes more fertile, right? And then if there were any invasive, herbs or animals, right, plant life or fauna basically being the animal version of plant life, right? Then you know that it's then destroyed, right? So forest fires are important, but what do we have? We have a man that's constantly trying to stop the forest fires from happening, right? Just let the pattern of the earth be, right? Don't what is it? You have these man, behold, building in like the forests of California, their plush apartments, and then when the fires are happening, doing what they want to do, right? Then they're trying to stop this and stop that, right? But also you also got to remember, right, that these fires, they are at ultimately a judgment from the Most High, right? Because nothing, the scripture says, can there be evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it, in Amos 3, right? 3 and 6, I believe, if I remember correctly. It also made me think of this, right? Because this is literally what we're going to do, right? This is everything, this is from Apocalypse, from X-Men. It says everything they've built will fall, and from the ashes of their world, right? So from the ashes of this world, we will build a better one, right? Just like how you're seeing that plant life grow back, replenish into that replenished soil, right? Our in our kingdom, things are gonna grow back in the replenished land, right? And then the gardeners of that land, right? The Israelites, metaphorically speaking, right? The tillers of that land, metaphorically, are gonna be good tillers, so that the land, ain't gonna get destroyed like it has now. Right now, you've got a bad tiller, you've got a bad husbandman, right? And he's destroying the land. The land where he eats from, he drinks from, he breathes, right? In fact, before I get that, let me get this. This is Isaiah 24 and 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Right, so the earth is defiled. The earth is defiled, man. Right, the earth is defiled, and up until this man is taken down, the earth can't be cleansed. Because what's one thing this earth is defiled by? It's defiled by blood. And the scripture says in Exodus, the earth cannot, the Exodus or Numbers, I always forget, right? But the earth cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it, right? So that's why, for instance, America is going to be completely destroyed, right? To be a memorial, to the nations of what happens when you live ungodly, right? You got the bloods of the Israelites, so deep in America, so deep in that land, right? Whether it be the so-called native tribes, right? Gad and Reuben, right? The southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, or what do you call it, or the northern kingdom, right? Or rather, the rest of the northern kingdom, because Gad and Reuben are of the northern kingdom, right? This is 2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. Right? And the thief doesn't tell you when he's coming. These people always want to ask, when's this going to happen? And when's this going to happen? Look, we don't know. Only the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai knows. Not even Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, knows. Right? So no one actually knows when the Lord is coming back apart from Yahweh himself. Right? It says, will come as a thief in the night. So we won't know. It will just come out of nowhere, right? It says, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right? And what's the only thing able to melt elements, man? A great heat, which is that, which this one is that nuclear weapon, that nuclear missile, right? It says the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Right, so this earth gonna burn, man. It ain't gonna be destroyed. Pursuant to Ecclesiastes, says the earth, it abideth forever. And that the earth is the Lord's footstool. The earth, is the Lord loves the earth, right? Yahweh loves the earth, so the earth ain't gonna be destroyed, right? It's heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. It's Malachi 4. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. Right, and as Apostle Tahar broke it down, this ain't talking about your little 200-degree oven. This is talking about one of them ancient ovens. The example given was, you have bread, you put in there 1-2 seconds, 1-2 seconds, and then it's done, right? when you're making the bread. Right, this is the kind of heat that was basically being referred to here. So a great heat, right? It says, and the proud and all the proud, and this world is hella proud. And I've actually got it in Sirach 10. I was jumping straight to the fourth verse, but Sirach 10 and 1, and but the first couple of chapters in Sirach speak about as the ruler of the city is so are the people, right? And who's the ruler of the city? Esau, the so-called white man, and he is proud. And you've been seeing that in the recent events that have been happening in Iran, right? The way this man's been talking, right? Just talking hella shit. We've got the greatest military. You can see that pride oozing from them, right? Says, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, right? Saith the Lord of hosts, right? The Lord of armies, right? It says that it shall leave them neither root nor branch, right? So this fire and this destruction is going to be destructive. Right, if I can put it like that, it's going to be a great destruction of fire, right? This is Isaiah 13:19. This is in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And what happens to Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities round about? Right? They got burned up, man. They got destroyed. Right? It says it shall never be, and it's talking about America, right? It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian. So once America is destroyed, it ain't ever going to be inhabited again. Why? Because it shall be just like as Sodom and Gomorrah was a memorial. You read that in was that Peter's? It says even as Sodom and Gomorrah burned them to leave them an ensample until those that after should live ungodly, roughly paraphrasing, right? So Sodom and Gomorrah were an example, but America, right? Babylon from if you read, was it Genesis 11th chapter, right? When it speaks about the Tower of Babel meaning confusion, Lon meaning land, right? So America is the land of confusion, right? And this ain't talking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon, that's that Iraq region, right? And people are living there. In fact, that's where America was, Iran was bombing the other night, right? It says, so it says, it shall never be inhabited. So when America is destroyed by thermonuclear missiles, and when you read the scriptures, it's only going to take 1 hour, right, to destroy America, right? But after that destruction, it will never be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch the tent there, right? Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, right? But the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and the satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and their time is near to come, and their days shall not be prolonged. It's Isaiah 66:15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to rend his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. Right. So when Yahweh gives a command for Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Shai is going to come back in his chariot, right? Which the so-called white man calls UFOs, right? The hosts of heaven, right? And he's going to come and burn things up, right? But as we quoted Apocalypse, man, from the ashes of their world, we're going to build a better one. Just like how right now, in the Australian, after the Australian bushfires, which I believe they're still ongoing, right? You're having life coming back, right? Because that's just the way the Lord built things. The Lord just talks about let me grab that. I'll start from 28. This is Sirach 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Right now, I get this because as quoted at the top of this lesson. These fires, for however natural they are and the benefit that they have to the earth, right? The Lord has sent them. Right? The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has sent them, because even that land, Australia, has blood on it, right? Even that land has blood on it. And as I quoted in Exodus or Numbers, like I said, I always forget which one. All right, in fact, let's just get it so I remember. It's Numbers 35:33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Right? And that's plain. So I'll carry on. It says Sirach 39:29. Fire, right? And that's what you're having over there in the land of Australia, right? You're having a great fires. I work with a couple of Australians, and one of them was telling me today, is like, yeah, fires are common, but this is, this is God. Now I'm gonna say that this is godly, right? Why? And that's the thing, brother, in the truth, we're seeing these things happen, right? And what are we thinking? We're thinking, right, this is the Most High starting to visit the world which He made, right? Because things ain't gonna get better, right? Things are gonna get worse, right? This is fire and hell and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance, right? Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. Right, when you read Job 4:7, whoever perished being innocent, right? It says they shall rejoice in His commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress His word. Right, so there ain't this big war in heaven. Right, there wasn't this big war in heaven and Satan was cast down or whatever, what have you. Right, the spiritual demon Satan works for the Most High, right, which is why it says they shall not transgress His word, right? Whatever the Lord commands, all of them demons do, and it just gave you examples: teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and serpents, fire, hell, famine, death, right? The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua created them, right? And then when the Lord says to the angel of death, a certain angel, go kill that guy, that angel goes and kills that guy. It doesn't say nah, but XYZ. The angel just goes and does, what it is, what he is set out to do, right? Right now there are 4 angels holding back the 4 winds, but when they get the command, right, they go and bring this destruction. Verse 32. Therefore from the beginning I was resolved and thought upon these things, and have left them in writing. And this is the conclusion that was made. All the works of the Lord are good, and He'll give every needful thing in due season. Right, so everything that the Lord does and the Lord has made is good. Even the fire, even this destruction, right? Because this destruction is going to be great. So it says in Daniel 12, right, like a time never before seen upon earth. Right, but it's going to be great and is needed, right? It is needed because this earth is sick, it's polluted, and the Lord has to take the current ruler out of rulership, right? This is Luke 20:12-49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled, right? So this is written in red, right? Yahweh Shai, man, he wants to bring that fire, man. He wants to bring that vengeance, right? He wants to, do the meat of his father, which is to destroy this earth, man. Right? You've got this devil Esau, the so-called white man, taking a piss out of the Most High on television shows, making it so that people fear Satan, right, more than the Most High, right? Which Satan, as I quoted, works for the Most High. Just read Job the first chapter and Job the second chapter, right? Yeah, this is my last precept. This is Sirach 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, right? And in due time He will set over it one that is profitable, right? So that is we'll build a better one, right? So the power is in the hand of the Lord, right? So the Lord is right now giving it to Esau. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? But from the ashes of His world, right, you're going to have the Israelites coming into power, and the whole earth is going to rejoice, In fact, let me end on that instead. This is Isaiah 14 and fuck it, I'll start from the top. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. Right, so ultimately, look, the Lord has brought the nation of Israel down, right, to the point where Jake is looked at like a second-class citizen, man. Right? People don't, you have certain women of these heathen nations that they might like Jake, but they're like, look, I can't be bringing home a quote black baby. But these times they don't realize they've just had, a child with the prince of the power, with a son of God, right? And the worst thing is some of those women from heathen nations will actually be Israelites themselves, right? But that's just the world, that's how low the Lord has got us, where women of these heathen women would much rather have children by Esau, the devil, but than they would by the prince of the power. The worst thing, Esau going to be destroyed after 1,000 years of slavery, right? It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And those strangers are talking about Israelite foreigners. Right, so the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Read Psalms 83rd chapter. That's all of these heathens. All of these heathens came together to rule over the children of Israel, to take us down, right? But they gonna work for us, right? When the Lord comes, destroys Esau out of his position seat, right? Takes him out of his position seat, destroys America, right? And puts the children of Israel back in their position, right? In their rightful position. Scriptures also talk about in Ecclesiastes 10, right? I've seen servants upon horses, right? And princes walking as servants upon the earth. And that's talking about Jacob and Esau, Jacob being the Israelites, right? So-called Negro, so-called Native American, right? So-called Latino, and all the Israelites are scattered throughout the earth, right? And Esau being the so-called white man, right? He's walking in that position of rulership, and it ain't him, right? It says, and it shall come to pass. What was reading? Yeah, so they gonna be our slaves in the kingdom, man. Right now, after 1,000 years, the Edomites are gonna be completely destroyed. Right? It says, and it shall come to pass that day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow. Ooh, and we can't wait. And from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. Right? Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Right, Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath, that's Esau, the so-called white man. Right, once again, what's he doing over there in Iraq? Why is he protecting Americans' interests in Iraq? Your land isn't even America. How did you get America? Right, it says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke with his sword, which is with his blessing, which is the sword. You read Revelation 6:4, right? Genesis 27, right? He that ruled the nation in anger. Oh man, did you hear all of this shit he was talking to Iran? All of this shit he's spoken to all the nations, right? Is persecuted and none hindereth. Yeah, so when you're brought down and being bullied, no one's going to stop. No one's going to have pity you. No one's going to be like, nah, that's deep. No, don't do that to him, right? People are just going to say, carry on, do as you do. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing, right? So the earth is going to be restful. Earth is going to be, at peace once again, right? It's going to be flourishing, right? It says, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller has come up against us, right? So even the trees are going to rejoice. And I believe this is actually twofold, right? Trees and then metaphorically people as well, right? Which certain precepts into what you call it, different base precepts to other precepts. Yeah, but if I remember correctly, this is actually twofold. This precept here, right? But the trees are genuinely gonna rejoice, right? But the trees also represent people, right? But the trees are gonna rejoice, man, right? No one's Esau going around just cutting down trees for cutting down trees' sake, right? So that he can farm animals for his McDonald's, which ain't nothing wrong with farming animals, or clean animals, right? But this man just has gone insane with it, right? So the whole earth is gonna be happy when you're destroyed, man, right? Which is ironic because you're trying to exterminate and make certain animals go extinct, right? But you're the only one that's gonna be extinct. Mosquitoes are gonna be in the kingdom, and you ain't, right? But I believe I've said enough. And yeah, as always, Lord's word, I was edifying. And yeah, till the next time, Shalom.